Even he probably thinks he's dumb. He's probably at home going, honey, I can't believe these idiots all believe me. If you believe this guy, if you watch him, you like him, don't even just not subscribe. Please block my channel. I don't want you anywhere near me. I don't want your stupidity to come seep through the internet and possibly touch me. I take a dump on this guy all the time. He might be like, Paul, grow up. I'm not gonna grow up because I think he's committing financial manslaughter. It's part of my job to sit there and tell you guys, these people are shysters.
He literally had a chart up and he was like, oh, look at this long term, and it was a 1 minute chart. Yeah. And I was like, wait a second, those are minute candles.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're a genius! You're so awesome. Smart! Oh my God, how smart are you? Because any moron in the world could throw a fucking dart and pick a stock that went up. Oh man, do I hate this guy. Okay guys, reaction video time. I love doing these reaction videos until my heart starts to race and I get to explode. We're going back to our good friend Stock Moe. And when I say good friend, I am being sarcastic. So, guys, I'm gonna be blunt for once in my life. I'm not gonna, beat around the bush like I usually do. I'm usually a very quiet, a very humble person. Literally, this guy is the guy in The Big Short that Steve Carell points at and says, short everything this person touches. I think Cathie Wood is smarter than this guy, than Stock Moe. We've watched his videos before. He is literally an idiot. Mm-hmm. And this might offend you if you don't like people being shat on, because I'm about ready to I've never seen this video, but this guy's an idiot. He brags about winning an investment club. Literally, investment clubs have nothing to do with investing. Literally, guys, remember one thing. There's a difference between a stock falling, but you have a good process and a good understanding of fundamentals, because a stock will fall just because the market's falling or for random reasons. Peter Lynch always says, I've bought stocks at 13, bought them all the way down to 2, and then watched them explode to 50 or 60. There's a difference between buying a cash flowing business that's already a good value and the rest of the market taking it down, or some perception taking it down, versus having no fundamental understanding of business and investing and buying purely because of stock. This guy has literally once said, I will not sell Workhorse even if they don't get the United States Postal Service contract. And days after they didn't get the contract, he sold the shares. Could not be any more hypocritical, because I always tell people, if the thesis changes, your view should change. But he came out ahead and said, I will not sell this if this happens. And he did exactly that. I'm already revved up and we haven't even started the video. What could possibly happen?
Stock Moe NEO stock price prediction for 2020, 21, and 22.
And I want to repeat, I never make stock price predictions. I just buy companies at good values, and if they go further down, I buy more. When I get flack from people, Paul, you buy stocks and they go down. Yeah, I know. The difference is I buy more as they go down, or I sell because my thesis has changed or my investment philosophy has changed. What's happened there is I've lately become more of I want to buy great companies at good prices for a long period of time, as opposed to what it was 2 or 3 years ago, which is let me find majorly undervalued stocks no matter their size. As an example, Foot Locker. I was buying it when it was like 13 or 14. I sold it at 25 and went to 60 or whatever numbers I sold it at. But now it's back down to 20 and I'm not looking at it anymore because it doesn't fit my long-term criteria. Right? Mm-hmm. But every other stock I've talked about, like Walgreens, doesn't fit my long-term criteria based on this valuation. But I made money on it. The whole point is you can have a good process and the stock will still go down on you. When you don't have a good process and the stock goes down, financial man, and you're telling people that the reason the stock is going to go up is no other reason other than, well, they're going to make a really cool car and it's going to go awesome. Cool. Idiot. Let's press play.
Long term. I'm holding NEO stock for the long term. Everything
Time.
I do with this.
Wait a second. What date is this? December 6th, 2020.
We have 3 videos, guys. So
December 6th, 2020. Let's look at where the stock was at that point. I'm going to look it up before anything happens. 2020. Oh, we look pretty smart here. December 6th, 2020. It was that's February, you idiot. Oh, that makes more sense now. December 6th, 2020. It was roughly 45, 43, somewhere in the low to mid 40s. Okay. For the record, it's currently 881, but let's go on.
Stock is for 3 to 5 years, because the numbers 3 to 5 years out for NEO look incredible. And we talked about this. I'm going to talk about it some more, and I'm just going to tell you where I see this stock going over the short term.
The story for companies like this always looks incredible.
And by the way,
every single EV company, there's companies you haven't even heard of, like Canoe. You remember the Karma?
Yeah.
Karma with the solar roof? That looked incredible.
ready? He was right. 2.3 billion in that same year. Right, just weeks later, they finished the quarter. They did a 2.3 billion that year. Last year, they did 7 billion. If he had said this was going to happen, he'd be like, "This stock's going to the moon."
No-brainer.
Why is it down 80% from what he bought it at? Overvaluation. Keep going, Mo.
Not that I'm investing in it, because I'm already all in on NEO. I'm already have it for the 3 to 5 years, but I like to do this to see how close I can come to being right. Sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. That's why all this is for entertainment purposes.
Adorable.
On here, it's just for fun.
Okay.
Even though I am throwing my own money into it. So
Funsies.
So the first thing I want to talk about is just, what does everybody think about NEO? And I'm talking about the big brokerage houses out there.
Oh, God.
I got them all together, and I ran them together, and I found Goldman Sachs and Deutsche Bank, Bank of America, Wedbush, all these different companies that we're talking about them. Actually, get rid of that last one. That was for Tesla. We got Bank of America upgrading it up to 54.70. So if we look
Pause.
at the price,
This is why you can't trust analysts.
Exactly,
They have
Mo.
to- they were all in the same boat because they had to be.
They
Because
have to
were
be.
doing- the stock
Because if
price
they
was doing
say
well.
don't buy the stock and it goes up through the
They're
roof,
screwed.
people are going to say, you are dumb, we're pulling our money.
Yep.
This is exactly what we say in videos about banks. And the banks, I just put it on Twitter the other day when I said this is proof that banks don't understand shit. Now all of a sudden banks are saying, who came out recently and said, you know what, we think the S&P will end the year at 4,300. But when the year is down, they say, you know, we think it's going to go, it's not based on investment, it's based on momentum or something like that. They're just as guilty about chasing the markets as everyone else out there. Bankers, MBAs, they're all fucking stupid. Keep going.
and JP Morgan also has it at 50.
And guess what?
Best one out.
They looked smart because just a month later, it hit $63. And they're like, see? It worked out great. That's what happens when you buy based on momentum and not based on fundamentals. Because that's what the fundamentals actually did get better, more revenue and profit. So how does it work? The stock is down 80%. How does that work? Because if you overpay for a good thing, look at it this way. The price to sales ratio today is 2 after their sales have tripled and the stock is down 80%. So let me do some quick math here. Times 4 times, it was selling for about 25 times price to sales ratio, 20 to 25 times back then. The average car company sells between 0.5 and 1 time sales. It was selling for 25 times sales. Well, there's a lot of growth potential in there. Don't get me wrong. Press play.
I'm a little different than them because I actually have it a lot higher, because I do think the stock is going to explode by the
Based on what? Based on what? You never hear him in any of his videos talk about long-term fundamentals. He looks at his chart, he goes, hey, look, they're going to make $1 next year. God, if you believe this guy, if you believe this guy, if you watch him, you like him, don't even just not subscribe. Please block my channel. I don't want you anywhere near me. I don't want your stupidity to come seep through the internet and possibly touch me, because I don't want any part of your stupidity if you believe this person. If you think he is smart, you're the sucker at the table. Even he probably thinks he's dumb. He's probably at home going, honey, I can't believe these idiots all believe me. Can you believe that? Press play.
And I could see this thing getting closer to 90 to
90
$100
to
by the end
100
of next year.
Okay.
And that's only because
By the end of next year,
you
pause.
see
End of 2021. It finished 2021. Okay, not bad. $33.
Okay, he's about to give a reason here.
Chinese market growing.
Chinese market growing.
I do see that NEO will.
Pause. Okay, guys, Chinese market's growing. So go start 1,000 car companies out there tomorrow. Chinese market's growing. There's a thing called oversaturation. How many car companies are started in the last 120 years? How many airlines? And guess what? The car business and the airline business has done nothing but go up. Marijuana is growing like crazy. Does that mean every single time? Go build 20 million apartments tomorrow around the country. Guess what's going to happen to apartment prices? They're going to plummet. Supply and demand. It's not just demand, it's supply and demand.
Wasn't COVID zero happening at that time where people were just like not buying anything in China?
Oh, I have no idea.
I think it was. Here we go. Oh, that's a nice outfit. Bowling shirt.
How did I mess this up?
Very easy. I will tell you. Hang on a second. I'll tell you exactly how you messed it up. You opened the freaking internet and you said, how can I be dumber than everybody in this world? And you went and accomplished it. Go ahead.
For those who've been following, we're going to look at the chart, take a look at how much I miss this.
Even on the chart, Mo, he doesn't even use technical analysis the right way.
The best thing
He
ever.
doesn't even use technical
The
analysis.
best thing ever is when he pulled out a long-term chart and he was looking. I don't remember which video this
Guys,
was.
I take a dump on this guy all the time. He might be like, Paul, grow up. I'm not going to grow up because I think he's committing financial manslaughter. It's part of my job to sit there and tell you guys, these people are shysters.
He literally had a chart up and he was like, oh, look at this long term. And it was a 1 minute chart.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a second, those are minute candles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crazy.
Sorry.
And the first things first, let's see where it's at.
Okay.
So as you can see today, it's at about 45.56. As I'm filming this, up about 6.57.
Oh, he hasn't even seen the hurt yet.
We did see it get up to a little above $46. And this is where
This is the daily chart. This is in the day. This is intraday. Oh, he's going to go to 1 month. He's going to go to 1 month.
last month.
Okay.
We got down to here. This is the low. It hit 31. And at this time, everyone was trying to jump on it and just how bad NEO was going to do. It was going to sink down into the teens. I had comments that were crazy about that.
This guy's
and
epic.
saying you should be shorting it. How could you push a stock like NEO? And I said it this time. I was making videos saying I'm continuing to.
I will give him credit for that one. He is right if his fundamental. He's saying the right thing if he had fundamentals to back him up. That's exactly what he should say, because most people are going to look at the stock and say, wait a second, you were at 45, now it's 31, you should short this thing. And if he sat there and said, listen, I'm buying a business that has strong fundamentals, but he's not doing that. He's doing this, he's fighting stupidity with stupidity. He's saying the exact right thing he should be saying. If he really had fun, he has not talked about income statement,
Nothing.
balance sheet, cash flow statement, anything, projections. I've never
Not even
seen him.
cars. He's not even talking about car sales.
Oh, God.
He's just saying a bigger growing China.
Go ahead. Keep going.
Anyways, at this point, I did say that I would expect to see NEO at the end of 2 weeks, which is today, to be at 42. I said 41 to 42, and that is where I was wrong about NEO.
It was higher.
I did expect it to hit 42 and around there, and it actually went way above.
Oh, yeah, you're a genius.
This guy
You're
is
so
awesome.
smart. Oh, my God, how smart are you? Keep
The
going.
reason, which I'm going to get into, but this is where I messed up.
Okay.
You can see it right around.
Where'd you mess up?
You can see
This
where
is the humble brag. I messed up. It went higher.
We have that big day where it pops all the way up to 45.51, which I'm not complaining about.
Of course not. It's 20%.
Feeling the heat, and you know the old saying, don't feed the bears, and we're not. License for the ES8 says it will serve as an essential foundation for Europe expansion. This is big.
This is big. This is huge. This is huge.
This is almost
I mean,
2 years
I
ago.
thought if they got that done, it would be game
This is
changer.
almost 2 years ago.
Next video.
Okay.
2 here, 58 and 57. I think they're going to miss they're just going to miss this one big time, because I do believe this is going to go way above there. I think you're going to see at least 60 or more by the end of this year. I've been saying 60 is the number, and even at 31, I was saying it's still going to have a good chance of hitting 60 by the end of the year. I had a lot of people say, yeah, you sure about that? Yeah, I felt pretty confident about it, especially with some of the counts that could come out after the semiconductor chip industry,
What the hell?
you know, fix their ills and all that good stuff, that this stock would have a wonderful opportunity to run up. And you're
Paul,
What?
if the semiconductor industry would have fixed its ills, we would have been at $60 a share.
You should never buy a company that has that much reliance on one macroeconomic event that can, I mean, it's just hard.
Yeah.
Well, I will say though, like I look at Alibaba, and again, don't buy Alibaba because I have it. But I look at Alibaba going, there's a lot of, you know, I do feel there's a lot of negativity, but good fundamentals in the all of a sudden they had a war with the, I mean, if something happened, there's a big war, Baba could literally fall big.
Sure, but it's still a good company. It's just it's not like you're betting on this. The play on Alibaba is not,
Guys,
if communism goes away, this does well.
Guys, I have no problem with somebody being wrong. Gary, that I respect a lot, he's wrong all the time. Warren Buffett's wrong all the time. I have no problem with that. What I have a problem with, I have a problem with a bad process. That's what I have a problem with. This is not only a bad process, a terrible process.
Is none.
There's zero process. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this. I'm willing to bet a lot of money. You know what we should do? Every time he picks a stock, we should literally have a monkey throw a dart at a board and pick a stock and see if it beats him.
It's a pretty good idea.
We should do that. Let's go buy a monkey. Everything money, monkey. Let's go buy a monkey. What?
We have a monkey.
Who's the monkey?
Poncho.
Not down in Mexico. We need one here.
23 to be. I'm talking about this year. Everybody says I put this at about $60, hopefully in the $70 range for the end of this year, but my price was $60 by the end of this year, and I even said that when
Hang
it
on a
was
second.
$31.
If you don't understand that stocks will do random things throughout the year that you cannot project, what the fuck are you doing? I've literally never made a price prediction I shouldn't say that. No, I don't think I remember making a price prediction. I think by this time, all I do is say, is it a good buy? Yes. Okay, then I'm going to buy some. And if it goes lower, it's a better, as long as my thesis is still the same, okay, I'm going to keep buying some. You can't predict when it's going to go higher or lower. All you can do is buy or sell. And if you're selling, it should mean that you don't believe in the thesis you made originally. Okay? Or the price value perspective doesn't make sense anymore. That's it. That's it. Press play, Mo.
There's a share. Now, and back then, people were like, no way, Mo, why are you doing this? You're going to cost people money. That's a terrible estimate. Why would you say that? It's going to be down to 15 to 20 a share, which makes no sense compared to the market cap and their increased triple-digit sales.
Makes no sense. He's talking about fundamentals here that he doesn't understand.
He doesn't even understand the fundamentals.
Okay, go ahead.
Down to that makes absolutely no sense to me. They were basically saying it was going to be worth about 15 to 25 billion in market.
Wasn't he a financial advisor?
Yeah, he's an idiot.
Okay, there you go. These are your financial advisors.
For a company expanding like that, no sense. Now this is starting to make sense with it climbing back. And that's why I was buying leap options on this. I was buying leap options when it was down in the low 30s, and they are printing right now. My break even.
This literally sounds like if our dads sat around a table and hypothesized about buying stocks.
So this is around June 11th, you said?
This was, let me find you the exact date, June 14th of 2021.
And it did pop to $53 a share on June 29th in 2 weeks.
Okay.
And that's the highest it's been since. All right, keep going.
And now I do see NEO going from $60 a share to a 90 to 100 a share, if not higher, but 90 to 100 conservatively by the end of 2022. And I do see
Pause.
NEO.
What was the
Conservatively, he sounds like a base case for Cathie Wood on Tesla.
What was the end of 22?
The end of 22, 10.
Base case.
Base case was 90 to 100. He's like conservatively. Guys, you don't say conservatively and you're off by 90%.
Yep.
Now, I don't know where any stock is going to go. I have no idea where any stock is going to go. But when you start saying that, you just open yourself up to absolute stupidity. And guess what? The reason he makes these predictions is because the previous 3, 4, 5 years made him feel like a genius.
Yep.
Because any moron in the world could throw a fucking dart and pick a stock that went up.
Yeah.
That's it. That was it. And this moron here then starts to realize, can I have my pen back? Launch it back to me.
You have another one.
I know. Okay. I'm really glad I caught that on camera and not, okay. Oh man, do I hate this guy. By the way, the reason I don't like him is because he represents every other average Joe out there trying to pick individual stocks and feel like a genius. Learn a process. If you don't want to learn a process, buy ETFs. That's it. And I don't blame you if you don't want to learn a process. 15, 20 years ago, I didn't want to learn a process. I bought ETFs. Then I started to get interested in the process, and slowly but surely, I sold my ETFs off and started to buy individual stocks. And for those idiots out there who criticize me for not making money, in the last 4 or 5 years, or not making big percentages, last year when I crushed the market by over 20%, nobody said anything. And we haven't even started this bear market yet. We haven't even started. This bear market has so much more to go. I can't wait till it's Stock Moe giving travel advice, because that's what he's going to have to do.
I mean, he has the nice shirts
Or
for
bankruptcy advice. Here are the...
This would be a nice shirt for Bermuda.
Yeah, it would be a nice shirt.
Conservative range.
Conservative.
160 to 180
For 2023.
And I think it's possible that this thing could take off depending on
Really?
the expansion you
So
see.
pause for a second.
Really?
$160 a share would have made it a $300 billion market cap company with revenue of $7 billion. Keep in mind, Tesla, who I think is overvalued, does $81 billion, and their market cap is $600 billion. So it would have been twice the market cap on 12 times more revenue.
Sounds legit.
Keep going.
Or you think, 60, 70% gain in a year, Mo? Remember that Tesla at one point
Oh, boy.
in a 12-month period.
This is why,
Everybody's Tesla.
pause. This is why it's very, very bad to make money on something stupid.
Everybody's Tesla.
Because then it's like, you want to miss out on the next Tesla and Amazon. Actually, yesterday on Twitter, somebody acknowledged, like, he was talking about AI. You have to be an AI. I go, listen, You have to be on the internet too. And all those losses from losing 100% of your money on tons of, and he said, would it made up for the ones you were right on? He goes, yeah, it's a valid point. That's the thing, guys. Like, but you're throwing darts. Now, if you pick a packet of 20 stocks that make sense fundamentally, you will probably do very, very well. That is my thesis. That's my goal. I'm not trying to make 20% a year. I don't think that's realistic over a long period of time based on where we're at, no, based on just my abilities. But can I beat the market? Sure. Are there going to be lumpy years? Absolutely. But don't forget, the same people criticized me when I was saying, like, I've only made a few percentage points a year for the last 4 years. Oh, this idiot. Well, I didn't lose 80% of my money in 1 year like these other morons did. Mm-hmm. Press play.
Percent. And that wasn't that long ago.
I hate you.
This is in the last
I hate you.
2-year period.
I hate you.
At one point, they are just exploding.
Yep.
And this company is going to be big.
Yep.
So I continue.
By the way,
to buy into
it could very well end up being big. Just like Amazon went from $113 to $6 a share before it went up to $3,500 a share. But that's the problem. Overvaluation will kill you. And you're not going to stick around to watch Amazon fall 95% to then go up to that's a fluke thing that happened. It was a fluke. It doesn't happen very often. It happens so rarely. And guess what? Unfortunately, it would have been hard to be the person who bought on no fundamentals to watch it go down 95%. Like I said, Peter Lynch said, I bought stocks at 13, bought them all the way down to 2 to watch them go to 50 or 60. But he had a process. He had fundamentals behind him. That's the difference. That's the big difference. I will never blame anybody for having a process. I don't agree with Gary. Mo and I don't even agree on investments. Mm-hmm. Dalton and I don't agree on investment. Dalton will say something. I'm like, Dalton, I think you're wrong on this one. He'll be like, okay. And it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. The point is, you sit there and you have a right process, you will do well. And when your process works, a stock going down is your best friend. Does he own the stock anymore?
That's what I was just about to ask Tim. He does?
He still owns it?
All of it. Everything that he bought back
Don't
then.
know.
Okay.
So
I give him credit.
the one thing we'll say is Nick and I wanted to see how many Neo, like as we're looking through this, to see how many Neo videos were out there. We spent a few minutes and counted 250. And you
weren't done.
And as we were scrolling, we weren't even done.
Yeah.
We estimate it's over 400 videos that he's done in the past 2 years.
Listen, I give him credit. He's sticking with it. But I'm going to tell him right now, even these... Look at it. Listen, by the way, he's not wrong. Neo probably does have a lot of potential. And at this price-to-sales ratio of 2, when the average car industry is between 0.5 and 1, but so much more growth potential, I'm sure there can be an argument made, but you got to remember another thing. Look at this. Net income is $2 billion a year. Negative $2 billion a year. That's got to be accounted for somewhere in here. Free cash flow last year was negative $300 million. The average in the last 5 years was negative $800 million. You've got to factor that in. So even though the growth potential is huge, they're still losing money hand over fist. And they're still diluting shareholders. That's got to be factored in. So before, when it was selling for 25 times sales, that's a hard thing to get around. If this was selling for 0.5 sales and it was break even, I'd probably be buying a position. I'd be like, all right, great. It's selling for what the car industry is selling for, but it has a lot more growth potential than the rest of the car industry. Okay, I can buy into that. I can absolutely get behind that. That's the point, guys. There's no fundamentals here, except all he hears is a lot of potential. They're great. Go to high school, find all the potential great baseball players, give them Mike Trout's contract. That's what you're doing here. You're giving all the high school players, call it the college players. They made it from high school. This company lasted. They're in college now. Okay, great. Give them the biggest contract ever. The Ohtani contract. Why not? Mm-hmm. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. These guys still have a lot of work to do to even get profitable, guys. And along the way, you can only do 2 things to cover losses. Raise debt, so increase your debt, or raise equity, which means dilute other shareholders. And morons like him are going to get diluted. Thank God. The best thing that could happen to this guy is him to lose a lot of money, because he might grow up then and go, okay, let me learn a process that works. Or let me sell, life insurance to people. That's what he did to the financial planner, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. Press play.
And yes, I'm well diversified. A lot of people
Pause. That's like saying Cathie Wood's well diversified. Just because you own a bunch of crap doesn't make it less crappy. That's what caused the bubble in 2006. They took a bunch of crappy mortgages and said, well, since there's 10,000 in here, it's okay now. No, it's a bunch of shitty mortgages that people can't pay. It still makes it a shitty investment. Go ahead.
What are your favorite EVs? Of course, Tesla. I think Tesla is a monster, but remember, Tesla's worth $600 billion right now, and I do expect to see it get up.
And that was, okay, pause. $600 billion right now. And for a while there, he looked really freaking smart. Because this is June. right here, 208, and it went to 414. And he was probably like, 5 months later, 414. How you feel now there, Mo? How do you feel now? Go ahead. And by the way, I don't look at this and think to myself, this proves me right. I actually don't. It'll prove me right when it's sitting under $50 or the fundamentals have justified. That's what I mean. Like when people say this, like I always tell people in our channel, I get messages all the time. Paul, you really helped me do blah, blah. You say, I'm like, no, I didn't. Thank me in 10 years when you've consistently done well. You're going to have bad years. You're going to have good years. When your process is good over a long period of time, that's when you can sit there and thank me. That's when you can sit there and believe in this. This doesn't mean anything, and therefore this doesn't either. However, when this valuation makes no sense, I shouldn't say it means nothing because this valuation was crazy. However, when you look at companies like NEO or Tattooed Chef or all these other bullshit stocks that people, loved, and you sit there and go, they're massively overvalued by a factor of 10. Well, then when they go down 80, 90%, I do look at that going, yeah, makes sense. Because I don't see Microsoft going down 90% from its all-time high. Could it? Sure, anything can happen. But that would take it from $360 down to $36. If it went to $36,
I feel like we have more problems in the world.
And I would be doing the thing I talked about before. I'd be selling my brother's daughters into slavery to get them money, to get me money to buy more Microsoft shares. That is a joke. For all you people out there going to say, oh, you believe in human trafficking? I do not believe in human trafficking.
I was going to ask what country. So
press play.
All right, something big is about to come here.
Back up to that 900 to 950 a share by the end of this year in the next 6 months.
That's for Tesla.
You're going to see a little bit of a run for Tesla.
Little run.
And then next year, I did think way back when I was throwing out estimates, I thought 1,250 to 1,300 a share by the end of 2022 would be a decent. Then I thought 2023 would be the monster of the year because everything starts to roll out full speed for them. All the updates, battery day. Remember, Elon said it was going to take approximately 18 months. I think it was 18 months.
When was the last split for Tesla? Because I want to know if he's talking pre-split or post-split.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, we got to find that out. Because, guys, there was a split for Tesla that was 7 for 1. So I need to figure out when that was.
Here we go. 25th.
August 25th. So 3 to 1. So 7 to 1. All right. Well, okay, keep going.
Full speed, and they're years ahead of the competition. And they're years ahead of everyone. All right, so that's one of the things I like about Tesla, but NEO, it's so cheap. It's so cheap compared to them. So one of the things that I always see out...
Based on the dollar amount? That guarantee that's what he means.
Guarantee it.
Guarantee it.
There in the news right now is you got Rivian coming out.
Oh, boy. Do we even want to get into Rivian?
So, guys, we're done with this video. And I think there should be a lot of personal criticisms on me that I keep going after this guy. I understand those personal criticisms. I don't blame you. If you tell me, Paul, just turn off the channel. Just listen to my other videos. Don't look at my reaction videos because I literally look at it. For me, I see all the bullshit out there and how many people fall for such utter crap, and it just drives me nuts. Should it drive me nuts? Probably not. But then the reason it bothers me is because then the people who get swindled then blame other people for their being swindled. And then when I'm right in the long run, which I will end up being right in some fashion, then they're like, oh yeah, but because of this. No, it's because you're stupid and that's it. Not you, but the people out there criticize. So anyways, guys, I'm going to be wrong. But when I'm wrong, it's going to be for much better reasons than, oh, I think NEO's got a huge potential. It's in China. There's a lot of Chinese people. Moron. Subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much.